Hello, my name is James Spiro, and I'm joined now with Amalia Avramov, the president of Amdocs Financial Services. Amalia.
Hi James, nice to meet you again.
Lovely to meet you, and thank you for taking the time.
Thank you for having me.
Can we start, please, by you sharing about some of the work that you do at Amdocs, please?
Yes, of course. So, as you said, I'm the division president of the Amdocs Financial Services, which is a relatively new organization that we've built, a new division that we built as we diversify our business portfolio and grow our technology offerings into banks and financial institutes globally around the world. We believe that the technology-driven banking will allow for the bigger community to have better access to their financial products, to their ability to manage their finance. And you know, just thinking also of today as Women's International Day, this is a great vehicle, the digital banking and the digital evolution that happens today in banking is a great opportunity also to close the gap, the diversity gap between men and women, because it actually allows access to more women in the world into their financials, into their ability to handle and manage their financials, which in many cases is perceived to be more of a manly job in many, many families.
No, that's wonderful. Thank you. I'd like to touch more on what you just said about it being Women's Day and why we're here today. What are some of the efforts that Amdocs are taking to make things more diverse, either in the company or in society? What are some of the tangible things that are being done?
Yeah, so in Amdocs, actually the diversity, inclusion and equality are top values of the company. We believe that that's the right thing to do. In a social level, it's the right humanly thing to do, but no less than that, it's the right business thing to do, because we see the top line improves, the innovation that comes through diversity and inclusion, the ability to drive things forward and to think out of the box and to be a differentiator in the market, in many, many cases comes from diversity, from inclusion. And when you have a very, I would say, rigid management in different levels, the results in most cases, and it's already proven by many, many researchers, are going to be way, way worse than when you're allowing the inclusion and the diversity. And therefore, we're doing many activities as a company to drive that. As an example, we set specific policies that drive diversity and inclusion. We measure ourselves as we promote people to management roles, or as we recruit, we measure the number of men versus women we recruit or promote, and we challenge ourselves when it's not working for us. I have to say that COVID made it a bit more difficult. COVID actually created, I think in a way, took us a bit backwards as a society, and as a company we see that, and we are now taking some proactive actions to fix that. So really promoting that. We also participate, I just want to add one more thing, we participate in many different initiatives within the company to mentor and help women build their internal confidence in what they can do so that they can bring themselves forward, because we know that women have some confidence gap compared to men in the same, you know, with the same skill. We see that across the board. And we also participate in many organizations outside of Amdocs to promote, from young women all the way to women that are already participating in the workforce, to promote women, to help them break their glass ceilings and their, you know, barriers that they have in their head, and to push them forward, to come to the front and to be leaders.
No, that was a wonderful. Thank you so much for the overview. It's something I've heard time and time again today, which is that there's a confidence gap, and that maybe, you know, typically women don't go for the things that maybe men are more prone to overshoot for.
Absolutely.
What are some of the ways that can be challenged? What are some of the ways that women can shoot?
So you're absolutely right. You know, there's almost like an unconscious bias, which, by the way, is the theme we use for this International Women's Day. It's like even we women, we sometimes put the barriers in our heads, but also men that are in the leadership roles, even if they don't know, or they will, you know, if you put a gun to their head, they say they're not biased, but there is unconscious bias in the way we perceive maybe the softness that the women behave as less leadership, while assertiveness of the male that will behave as more leadership. And that's where we touch to any day, but especially in this Women's Day, we're going to put a lot of focus on that. How do we make sure that on any decision that we make, whether I'm a male manager or whether I'm a junior woman, how do I break the unconscious bias that I have to make sure that at the end of the day, we are driving the diversity and inclusion? Because like we said, this is like the top value for us as a company. And I encourage, by the way, other leaders and other companies to think the same and to really go deep, because we have to go and think about it from the root. Just by saying that it's the policy is not going to fix it. Yeah. We have to really break it by the root, and it's not an easy process.
Yeah, it's also not on the corporate level. It's also, you know, starting way back at school. It's instilling this when children are young. So yes. It's round the dinner table or in school. It's really start it young.
Absolutely, it's so true. You know, I'm as in one of the activities we do as a company, I'm mentoring a group of young girls, 17 years old, and you wouldn't believe the discussions I'm having with them. They're like thinking, okay, even if I decide that I want to go to a technology career, what will I do when I have a baby? Who will take care of the children? And then we start talking about, okay, why? Let's talk about it. Having a baby, does this mean that you cannot choose your own destiny? Does this mean that you cannot inspire to become a leader, to become, to have a great career? Maybe let's talk about how you choose your partners, how you create the environment around you that can support you. Yes, you're a mother, but it does not mean that this prohibits you from having a meaningful career. And all these discussions and risk-taking and reward, these are such an important discussion. You wouldn't believe how still in 2023, young girls still have these, barriers that they think that is coming from home. Even again, sometimes it's unconscious, but they still have it. And you have to have these open discussions with them and help them and push them to take some more risks, and also think about how do you mitigate these risks as you grow in your career.
Yeah, it's a lot to talk about, and it's a lot to go through. And I hate to do this because this is the least favorite part of my job, but I do have to stop you there because we are running out of time.
We are running.
But Amalia, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure. I can't wait to see how it all goes. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Bye bye.